Once you identify which community you've helped, your job is to identify the problem you're helping to solve. It can be on social or racial justice, environmentalism, health, both physical or mental, teaching, mentorship, and on and on and on. But once you narrow in, I want you to use the STAR model. That's an acronym, and I want you to ask the following questions. S stands for situation. What problem did you see this community facing? T for task. What goal did you set to help address the problem? A for action. What was your role in helping to solve the problem? All right, side note, if your efforts were part of a group of people, focus on your specific role in that group. And then R for result. What happened? What was the impact of you helping? Not only to the group you helped, but to you. What did you learn about yourself from this experience? Next up, the identity or culture essay. Here are some examples. From NYU, quote, "We would like to better understand how your experiences would help us to shape and grow our diverse community." And here's one from Harvard. Quote, "Harvard has long recognized the importance of student body diversity of all kinds. We welcome you to write about distinctive aspects of your background, personal development, or the intellectual interests you might bring to your Harvard classmates." These prompts are pretty open-ended, but do look for key words. Both of these prompts mention diversity. In these, they're asking how you identify. Schools are looking to increase diversity and promote a wide range of voices. This is your opportunity to tell them how you would contribute to that effort. All right, so let's talk about identity. You can address any of the following and probably more, right? Your race, sexual identity and orientation, income level, first generation status, just access and opportunity, cultural background, immigration status, ability, disability, gender, or a cross-section between these identities. Think about who you are and how your worldview has been formed as a result. The way you think about things, it's unique because of how you've experienced the world in your skin. So now think about what you can contribute to this new campus because of that. If you feel stuck on this one, I want you to check out the Personal Identity Wheel worksheet in your handbook. It'll help you come up with more ideas. Now we're going to move on to the personal challenge essay. I covered this prompt earlier when I reviewed the UC Personal Insight questions, but here's an example from MIT. Quote, "Tell us about a significant challenge you've faced that you feel comfortable sharing, or something that didn't go according to plan. How did you manage the situation?" The key here is to focus on one thing, one event. So be honest with the story. What happened? How did it affect you? It was likely pretty hard because they're asking about a challenge. So don't worry about being overly honest or trauma dumping or any of that. I then want you to focus on what you did to get through it and how you were shaped as a result. Because this is basically a repeat of one of the UC Personal Insight questions, I encourage you to refer back to that lesson. By the way, this is a great example of why you don't always need to write a fresh essay for every prompt. If you happen to be applying to both UC Berkeley and MIT, one of your UC PIQs could be this supplemental, boom, 2 for 1, you're done. A quick final note on the personal challenge essay. You can bring up heavy challenges. Readers are used to reading about tough stuff. And on the flip side, the challenge can be small if it made a big impact on you. So you don't always need to have a big, huge life event to make connections and grow as a person. Go with the challenge that popped up as you brainstormed, no judgment, and just see what happens as you write. All right, let's move on to the academic interest essay. Stanford has a good example. It goes like this. Quote, "The Stanford community is deeply curious and driven to learn in and out of the classroom. Reflect on an idea or experience that makes you generally excited about learning." So here's another example from Rice University in Texas. Quote, "Please explain why you wish to study in the academic areas you selected above." Your number one goal for this type of prompt is to demonstrate your love of learning and ideally passion for your major or career goal. But be careful to not use cliches here. That can happen. So psych major could say, "I've always been fascinated with how the brain works." Ugh, that's kind of a given probably and maybe not all that unique. But they want an actual story, evidence that you have engaged with a particular subject. If you're a bio major, this is a great place to talk about lab studies, what you found, who you worked with, how you problem solved. Tell them why this field matters so much to you. Where did the inspiration to study the field come from? You can show your enthusiasm by highlighting work you've actually done. This is why detail and experiences matter a lot. So why were you first inspired to connect to this field? How do you think you'll engage in this field in the future? This is the time to dream big and completely geek out.